Hi, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. And as always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. It's Wednesday, which means it's Let's Talk Astrology Day. So, as always, with me, I have John from Massalia Tarot. Say hi, John.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, hi. So, we've done a little bit of an introduction into astrology, a little bit about different aspects of it, and now John is going to start us in on doing kind of a little bit of a deep dive into each sign. And we're starting with the first sign of the zodiac this evening, which is Aries.
Yep.
So, before we do that, just a couple things that I want to. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Uh, oh, Teresa says, hi, John.
Hi.
Okay, so a couple things that I want to mention before we get going is the contest that John and I are running, and I think it's a pretty darn good contest and one that you're definitely going to want to enter. So, um, let me tell you a little bit about the details. Now, you can go click on the description of this video, and you will see towards the bottom where it says contest rules and so on. What you need to do is be a subscriber to both Heart Center Tarot and to Massalia Tarot. And the links will be in the description. All you have to do is click on them if you're not already a subscriber. After we drop each video, you will need to go into the comment section of the video and leave a comment. It can be anything from, interesting show to, enter me in the contest, whatever. So we're going to have three winners, and the prizes are going to be a full personal astrological reading from John and a 30-minute tarot reading from me. Sounds good. All you've got to do is subscribe, leave a comment. You can also like and share. That will help as well. So, what is going to, let me just grab my information here. I've got stuff written everywhere. Okay, so there's going to be three winners. And the way that it's going to run is from today, October 5th, until November 2nd. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. I'm going to say until November 1st. That you will be able to enter for the first draw. We will do the drawing live on air when we gather for the Leo reading, which is going to be on November 2nd. Okay, so before we get into Leo, before we get into anything else, we'll do a draw, and we'll announce, right live on air, who the winner is. Then we're going to do the same thing with after Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. So on November 29th, that will be the cutoff for entries or comments for the previous videos. And we'll do the draw on November 30th, again, just before we get into Sagittarius, all things Sagittarius. We'll do the draw and we'll announce the winner. And we're going to do the same thing for the very last one, which is going to the deadline to enter is going to be December 27th. And we'll do the draw on December 28th. And I'll on that one, since we won't be doing a particular reading on a sign at that point, um, I will post something um, on um, on YouTube to indicate when we're going to, what time we're going to meet, and so on. Excuse me. So you can then join us. Now, if you've left comments from October 5th to November 1st, that's fine. Your comments will carry you for the um, November 29th, um, November 30th pick, and so on. So enter once, or enter three, four, five times, right? You can enter after each and every sign that we do. The more times you enter, the more chances you have to win. However, you can only win once. Okay, so that's the only proviso on that. Um, I think that is kind of it for our contest. Um, I'm also doing one um, independent of John, and that is as soon as I get to 500 subscribers, or 100 some away. When I get to 500 subscribers, I will then announce a day and give you an opportunity um, to enter, and I'll give away a free 1 hour reading from me. Now, as I said that, there was something that I thought, I need to mention. Oh, yes, yeah. I did say that, yeah, the comments that you make in the chat don't count as an entry, right? You actually have to go to each individual video, and in the video's comments, that's where you can put. And if it makes it simple, just go in there and put enter me in the contest. Okay. Um, Last but not least, I have on October 10th, Linda G will be joining me on my channel. And I'm super, super excited about that. November 5th, I will be joining Sherry H. Her channel is Voices from the Swamp. And then on November 12th, she will be joining me on my channel. So, again, all that information is listed below in the description. So go in there, take a look around, and whatever. You'll find all kinds of things in there. All righty. Now, that was a lot of talking. That was a lot of talking. But, I'm a Libra. We talk. Okay. Alrighty. I am going to add this. And I will say, John, take it away.
Thank you, Marina.
You're welcome.
Okay, so before I begin with my presentation with Aries, I just wanted to state the fact that signs in of itself, the 12 signs, are the costumes planet put on to express their quality. It's like a filter by which a psychological function will be manifested. For example, Venus, which symbolizes how we express our affection, will express itself in a rather forceful and direct way in Aries. And even if you don't have your sun in Aries, so that you're an Aries, you may have another planet or placement lying inside that sign. So this podcast is important for everyone because we all have,
Mhm.
by extension, something of Aries inside of us. So that was my little tidbit of introduction.
Mm.
Let us commence with Aries. Okay.
Yeah.
So, being the first sign of the zodiac, Aries is all about new beginnings, taking action, and initiating change. Aries can be described at the birth of our identity, since it is the first sign to first fire sign to appear in the zodiac wheel. Here, the human soul is burgeoning, lacking true structure or meaning, but it has this strong will to live and tackle anything that might prevent it to develop. It is kind of force of nature. Nestled
Mm-hmm.
deep within lies the power of personal expression that can engulf anything on its track. The individual imbued with Aries has only one goal in mind: survival.
Yeah.
Survival starts at birth, as it can be seen literally as a struggle between life and death for the child to break of out of its mother's womb alive. Aries can unconsciously repeat this fateful event by meeting everything with confrontation, as if each new beginning must be met with opposition and challenge. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here is the first pie of the zodiac, which is Aries. So Aries always starts in the eastern portion or the left side of the zodiac, and we make their way all the way through Pisces here. So that's why it's the first sign appearing in the zodiac. Taking the symbolic approach, Aries can be viewed as the initial spark igniting a tree struck by lightning during prehistoric times, allowing the locals to discover and harness fire. This is the bright flame emanating from the fireplace, the campfire, bursting with vigor and animosity, but leaving doubt as to its longevity and potential destructiveness. Its presence is frank and sorry, that word is hard for me.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. Thanks. Leaving little to the imagination at its brighten the area in a cinch. It's like this initial spark of inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
of life. So here you got the planetary rulers of Aries. It
Mm.
is primarily ruled by Mars on the left. This is the first ruler, and the secondary ruler is the Sun. There's a third ruler that I haven't listed here. It is Pluto. Pluto can be
Hmm.
considered its modern ruler, but it is kind of not universally accepted by all astrologers. So I kind of left that out.
Yeah.
So, being ruled by Mars and the Sun, and by being a cardinal fire sign, remember the
Mm-hmm.
podcast 2 and 3. This makes Aries the most masculine and animalistic sign of all. Its glyph or symbol here over here can represent the head of a ram. That's the sign
Mm-hmm.
original name. But it can also depict a sprouting plant emerging from the
Yeah.
ground, given that's the first sign of spring. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, some see a nose and eyebrow design. So you get the eyebrows here and the
Mm.
nose, perhaps
Yeah.
stemming from the fact that this sign rules over the head and the face. I'm going to take a sip of water here.
Okay. Mm.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
Catch your breath.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Deep breath. Whew. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We're okay. While you're doing that, I'm having
yeah.
some cake because you know, today's my birthday and I'm spending it with
Yeah,
you.
that's right.
So I'm treating myself to a piece of cake and I'm enjoying it very much. and I'm enjoying it for all of you as well. Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. So Aries is the warrior and pioneer of the zodiac. It believes the
Mm-hmm.
world must bend to its will and accept its gusto with open arms. Otherwise, there will be blood. Therefore,
Yeah,
it can be hard for this sign to truly accept an outsider's perspective and adapt to its environment. Its
honest
egotism
travel.
and brashness can cause a whole slew of problems that can further antagonize its perceptions towards the outside world, being this gatekeeping society, because they always want to push through with their ideas, and they kind of meet early on the opposition from that. Being the first sign
Mm-hmm.
and belonging to the fire element can also mean having an excessive self confident attitude, believing that everything should be handed to them without question. Facing opposition, Aries
Mm-hmm.
typically tries to take down adversaries, but can quickly run out of interest. Being a cardinal sign, that's a really important point to not forget. Even with all that gusto and energy, cardinal signs tend to be worn out quite quickly in their endeavor for asserting themselves. So even with a fire sign, it's like a big push through and then almost like, oh, this is boring, or no, I'm gonna change
Yeah.
my target or something.
Uh-huh.
So the danger of this sign is to be ruled by its impulses, as anxiety can easily build up if they aren't taking challenges or staying in movement. Every time Aries gives into acting without thinking, it can burn off what they have constructed, leaving them empty handed and with a bad reputation. Aries' negative side has a lot of personality traits that are frowned upon in modern Western society, like selfishness, impatience, arrogance, aggressiveness. They can be confrontational too, and they have maybe some kind of inconsideration towards other people's views, etc. So all that can make them very polarizing at times.
Mm-hmm.
So its life lesson will generally be twofold: taking time to slow down and reflect on potential consequences before acting, and also taking
Mm-hmm.
into consideration others that can provide good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Also, and it is true for all the signs, by taking some qualities of the opposite sign, which in that case is Libra, Aries can
Mm-hmm.
temper its passionate side and become more nuanced and measured, leading to a fairer judgment and more positive leadership qualities. Another crucial
Right.
weakness of this sign is its lack of staying power. Again, as a cardinal sign, it can be wary of a project too soon if they don't get the rewards immediately. This is the most impatient sign of all. They want to get things
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Yeah.
If not supported by something else in their chart, people with dominant Aries energy can run the risk of spoiling their potential by running a half finished project many times left and right.
Mm-hmm.
However, and fortunately enough, this sign is not only negative but also very positive. At its
Mm-hmm.
best, Aries is a true trailblazer who can uncover uncharted territories and overcome
Mm-hmm.
unfair opposition to truly shine as an individual. People with strong Aries placements can become defenders of a social cause and fight for others who cannot.
Yep.
Also, this sign possesses a strong creative energy, making it ideal for starting or designing new plans or projects. With enough encouragements, Aries people can become true originators from which new concepts sprout.
Absolutely.
So there can be really proactive and getting their hands dirty into something, a project that is totally uncalled and totally unknown from most people,
Hmm.
and build something up
Yeah.
from that, from nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking up for those who maybe can't speak up for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
They'll
yeah.
they'll they'll call you if if you're out
Oh,
there doing something
definitely.
silly, they'll call you
Aries
on
are
it.
Aries can be extremely direct.
Yeah. Yes, they can. I love Aries.
Given that Aries rules over the head, this can lead to them wanting to be in charge or at the head of an organization. Aries also can be quite gifted in leadership roles where there is a need
Mhm.
to take opportunities and be quick on his feet. So they're really good at managing rather than be um, like followers. They're really good at
Yeah.
being the lead.
Yeah.
On the other hand, on the flip side, they need to be careful when they feel the urge to skip details, as they can
Mm.
easily put themselves and others into jeopardy. Because Aries
Yeah.
don't like to fiddle with all the little details and all the consequences. They want to be the creative force.
Yeah.
Lots of Aries can find themselves in creative outlets as well as occupations where the body is put to the test, like athletes, construction workers, the military, etc. Since Aries is ruled by Mars and is associated with iron, steel, and sharp tools, some can even be interested in being a surgeon, welder, ironworker, etc. This is the most physical sign of all in terms of pushing the limits. They're really good at,
Like,
yes,
yeah, I was gonna
you
say
were,
I can confirm with the iron and steel and all that. Yeah, if I haven't said it before, my son is an Aries and he's a welder. So yeah,
wow,
totally living
the
up to
proof is in
that
the
part of.
pudding.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a darn good welder too.
Wow.
Precise. Yeah.
Yeah, when Aries are focused on something, they are almost unstoppable. They can be really
Yep.
focused on their work and be proud of what they've produced.
Absolutely.
The pitfall here is the staying power and the
Yeah.
motivation, because this fire can really sizzle down quite quickly. And they need to have something else in the chart or external feedback to be sustained in their, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not meant to be like assembly line workers, like to do the same thing
No,
over and over
no.
and over again. No,
And I've seen a
no.
lot of Aries having a really visionary kind of personality, also. Like I said before, the
Yes.
true originator, where they can have this idea. For example, I had this example on top of my head. Um, I got Albert Einstein. He was a
Yep.
Pisces. However, he had, if I remember correctly, Mercury in Aries. Mercury rules over our thinking process, our thoughts, everything relating to communication and also how we process information. So having Mercury here in this creative and initiating sign urges the person to truly be creative in their thought process. So, and have this really bright, shining breakthroughs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Um, what else is
Yeah.
there? Oh, yeah.
Teresa was just
Yep.
saying that her daughter is an Aries and that they butt heads but love each other.
Yeah.
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 They will do that. And Aries will challenge you. They'll say why, and you can't say that, well, it's just because it's always been like this. No, they'll drill down. Why? Why?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you know
You like
what?
to.
Even in Yeah, and even in languages,
Mhm.
because the ram, the symbol of Aries, can be also attributed to like goats and like similar animals. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
languages in Europe that are specifically having this kind of idioms or
Mhm.
words that are pertaining to the goat behavior of butting heads suddenly and then
Yeah.
stopping. Even the word
Yeah.
capricious
Yeah.
comes from Latin, and this root word manifests itself as being a goat-like, meaning that you had this kind of brash temperament from a second,
Mhm.
and then returning like to peace and I
Yeah.
don't know, like eating grass. It's like this kind of a
Yeah.
quick call to action and aggressive temperament, and then
Yeah.
it just go away.
Yeah.
That so
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Which,
yep.
one of the good things about that is, I don't think that they tend to hold grudges. They'll,
No,
yes, dear, I'm going to let you outside in a minute. Is they'll say what they have to say. It may sound harsh, but then you move on. There's no grudges that are held. Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Yep, definitely. So this can confuse some people, other signs who aren't
Mm-hmm. Totally.
very aware of this kind of behavior from Aries, because this sign likes to be really open about confrontation, conflicts, and say what they had to say. But then afterwards, they don't hold on to the negative emotion. What's done is done, and let's move on.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
want direct confrontation so that the pent up aggression can be manifested, and then, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So that could be another good quality in my list that I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So as you can see
Yeah.
here, I've tried to balance them out, having equal
Yeah.
good and bad qualities for each of the signs. So yeah,
Yeah.
in the good side, they're active, brave, they're challengers, competitive, daring, energetic. They will fight. They will fight for who they are. Like
Yeah.
they will manifest their energy naturally.
Yeah.
They're energetic, they're enthusiasts, they're expressive, they can be leaders, they're outspoken. Yeah. And they're present
Mhm.
focus. That's why they don't hold on to grudges, like you said.
Yeah.
And the bad,
Yep.
yes, they can be aggressive, arrogant, bad tempered, they can be brash, etc. They can give up too easily on something because they don't have the staying power, the
Yep.
motivation to go through because it's not as exciting as it was at the initial time.
Yeah.
So they can be really impatient, impulsive, intolerant of others' opinions, reckless, and violent. But they
Yep.
need some kind of outlet to focus their attention. in order for them to succeed. That's the key
Yeah.
point here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, in intimate relationships, Aries can be described as the love at first sight idiom, since this sign can become quickly aroused by a new date, but can quickly lose interest if nothing seems exciting after a while, just like everything
Hmm.
else.
Yeah.
Because of this, people with dominant Aries energy can be prone to strong passions that can fizzle out quickly if they don't find something deeper to anchor their interest into.
Yeah.
Also, since this sign rules over the physical body, this can be interpreted as being only interested at first at the visual aspect of their new quote unquote conquest.
Yeah.
So it might be very important for especially young Aries to be to for them their partner to be physically attractive, and to have
Yeah.
regular sex,
Yeah.
because they have this kind of really strong, energetic, and magnetic feel to
Hmm.
the opposite, or their partners, their quote unquote targets. This is the sign of hunters after all. So
Yeah.
they want to have there's a really hot chick or hot guy, and I want to get into this relationship or get into this kind of wow. I don't know. There's this strong passion that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not worth it for most of them.
Yeah.
Of course, all of I'm saying right now is all depending on the planets that you have in Aries. Some
Yeah.
planet, especially for the relationship aspects. If you've got Venus in Aries, that's dead on what I've said before. It is,
Hmm.
yeah, the like strong love at first sight, the initial spark of passion. Yeah, with Venus in Aries, you will have that.
Yeah.
So that's really important for Aries to truly be aware, or even people with placements in Aries, which planet is concerned, which planet is directly affected by Aries. So any planets and points falling into Aries, they will have this urge to manifest their energy readily and strongly. There will be
Hmm.
a strong need for independence for them to be activated, and will mostly be related to the physical energy. Failing to express planets in a healthy way may result in loss of drive, self harm, headaches, and inflammation. So, some planets, even if you got a lot in Aries, you might think, wait a minute, I'm not like that. I'm not like brash or like impatient or things like that. And it can be that there's other placements in your chart that prevent this energy
Yeah.
from externalize to be manifested. And since Aries wants to be wants to be manifested at all costs, well, you may have some kind of problematic like symptoms over the years coming through.
Okay.
So that's an important point to notice.
Yeah, absolutely. So you might be predisposed to acting a certain way, but depending on the other influences, you know, some people are
Yep.
predisposed to cancer, but they never get cancer. It just means you have to be a little more vigilant, a little more aware of uh, of what
Yeah,
you're
and
up against.
especially with I would say especially with people with Aries with lots of planets in Aries, Aries and they don't feel that passionate energy to create and to manifest their ego into the world, um, there will be a deep-seated frustration
Yeah.
coming through this lack of being accomplished, because this Aries wants to accomplish something. Aries
Yeah.
always wants to conquer something. So if you don't have this kind of pattern in life and you feel like disempowered, sometimes they might be an external factor from which this originates, and there's a obviously there's kind of blockage coming from this lack of energy,
Yeah.
and it can be true for all signs.
Absolutely.
What else is there? Oh yeah, here are my associations. So it can be interesting to look at all the associations. This is a couple of them only. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know if you can amplify your Aries energy if you don't have enough, or if you want to manifest this kind of pioneer or conqueror energy inside of you. You can wear red daily or once a while. You can
Mm-hmm.
use some kind of gems or precious
Yep.
stones to manifest, to harness this kind of strong-willed energy. Um, Also, like I said before, the metals, so it can be related to work, iron and steel. So anything also sharp, like a scalpel, some
Yeah.
construction tools or scissors or anything like that, can be related to this sign. The
Yeah.
body parts, usually the body parts are related to a sign in general. And given that we start with Aries, anything related to the head is associated with Aries. And we make our way down all the way through Pisces and the feet.
Yeah.
So anything related to the brains, cheeks, ears, eyes, face, forehead, mouth, the scalp, skull. Yeah. So in traditional
Excellent.
astrology, those body parts related to each of the signs can be related to like the sensitive or vulnerable part in our body that we
Mm-hmm.
need to be wary. We need to put our attention into, because especially for if we skip animals and occupation when go to elements, we can see that acne, baldness, brain disease, epilepsy, inflammation, migraine, and measles, most of them are indirectly or not associated with the head.
The head.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and there's a lot of Aries that can be prone to be excessively impulsive in life, especially younger Aries, and they can
Mm-hmm.
have trauma, concussions to the head if they're not careful.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever seen like a goat or a ram like charging. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Boom.
Yep,
Yeah.
headbutts.
I just, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
And
they can.
Teresa, if I can just stop you here
Yep.
for a minute, because I don't think that you can see the comments, but
No, I can't
um,
see.
okay. Well, Teresa said that she and her daughter are both good at telling each other how they feel and they hug it out, but sometimes not until the next day. And
Hmm.
I said, well, as long as it happens in the end, it doesn't matter when. And then Teresa said, thank you for this show. I think I can understand her better. And that is just, that is awesome. That's,
That is sweet.
yeah,
Thank you.
that, absolutely. Yeah.
You're
Perfect.
welcome.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah. Very welcome, Teresa. Okay. All right. Sorry I interrupted.
Oh, it's okay. So as you can see, those association, especially for the body, this can be some kind
Mhm.
of sensitive issues that can be recurring um, for some people.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it can be something as mild as recurring headaches to like
Yeah.
having, in the long run, something more severe and chronic.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you go to occupations, like I said, and this is a really small sample of them, engineers, especially engineer relating to, yeah, iron or steel work, or
Yeah.
like um, anything related to building something, the initial
Yeah.
plans, like I said, the beginning, the idea, the
Yeah.
spark of inspiration coming from Aries. Obviously, firefighters. This is the most fiery sign of all.
Yeah.
Hairdressers.
Mhm.
I know someone who's a double Aries, Aries with Aries rising, who's a
Ooh.
hairdresser, and he really enjoy coming up with new ideas and new kind
Yeah.
of hairstyles.
Yeah.
Um, so again, we're dealing with the head. A mechanic, of course, anything related to tools. And since Aries can be, I would say, linked to anything related to engines, they can be
Mhm.
really great at everything related to automobiles. And like, yeah, definitely working at a garage or something like that, they can
Yeah.
be really in their element because it's hands on. They want, some Aries wants to really have this kind of manual feel
Yeah.
to their occupation. If it's too theoretical, it's like, oh, something's missing. An optician also, because
Yeah.
Aries rules
Yeah.
over the eyes.
Yeah.
So some Aries can really perfect their skills in medicine and specialize into the eyes. So yeah, you also see like some brain surgeons. I know another Aries who's specialized in brain surgeries.
Mhm.
Um,
Sorry.
so yep, you wanted to say
No, I
something?
just something no, I just something popped up on my screen and I can't
Oh,
seem to get rid of it right now. And there we go. Okay, it's finally gone. Okay. All right.
so again,
Yeah.
you have also anything related to the military. So soldiers, general, any levels, especially going forward. Some areas can go further into the ranks, but they will
Yeah.
like this kind of challenge. They love the challenge of self-imposed labor or self-imposed discipline coming from the military.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And what else that I haven't put on here? Hmm,
Mm, can't
I,
can't
I
really think
anything.
of.
I don't have anything else to say relating to the occupation. I think, yeah, anything creative
Yeah.
or challenging, or again
Yeah.
dealing with those kind of metals or things like that
Yeah.
can
Yeah. Like you
be
said. Yeah.
an option.
Yeah. Welder, machinist.
Yeah,
Um, uh, yeah. That anything that would require that little bit of precision and creativity, right? That
yeah,
to yeah, to make something into something else that people say can't be done, right? It's like
yeah.
a big old challenge. Yeah. Yeah.
So again, plants can be interesting too, because some plants that I've selected here are are really kind of strong tasting. Mustards,
Mm-hmm.
onions, peppers,
Mm-hmm.
rhubarb, sometimes radishes. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of some people who also got, especially Venus in Aries, sometimes because Venus rules over preferences, likes and dislikes. And
Yeah.
people with strong Aries placements, especially Venus, tend to like their food strong
Oh
tasting,
yeah.
spicy or something
Yeah.
like that. Really like strongly flavored, seasoned.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely. Uh, and I haven't found so much of the flowers. Unfortunately, I was like kind of bummed out. My,
That's okay.
but still.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add also, uh, for each of the planet, especially going through the personal planets. And I'm going to have this kind of tiny segment at the end of my expose for each of the zodiac signs.
Mm-hmm.
So the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, those are all the personal planets. I will kind of have this quick introduction for each of these placements in
Mm-hmm.
Aries of those placements. So, for example, people who got the sun in Aries, they have to manifest their own self into being someone who can start something in their life, can be truly part of something greater than themselves, and be this kind of pioneer. They have to embody those qualities to feel their sense of purpose in life. So they want to
Mm-hmm.
be assertive, they want to be like that. But at the same time, since the son rules over the father or the authoritarian parent, again, this can lead for some sun in Aries to confront their fathers, see their fathers as being this kind of authoritarian figure, this castrating figure, some kind of no, you can't do that. I'm gonna be this kind of so this there will kind they mean maybe have this kind of confrontation at the start of their life.
Yep.
And depending on the other aspects and other placements in their chart, Suns and Aries can be it can be difficult for them to assert themselves because anytime they want to truly shine, they will meet this kind of critical parent or confrontational parent for some Aries.
Mm-hmm.
The moon in Aries is a whole other idea. That's what I love. That's what I love about astrology. Each planet reflects a tiny portion. It's like a prism. It's like a
Yep.
separate color. So the moon in Aries, moons rules over the emotions, how we perceived our mother. The sun was our father. The moon is our mother, the nurturing figure. So moon in Aries is all about having our needs met quite readily because Aries is impatient. So it wants to have things done quickly. If they're hungry
Mm-hmm.
or if they're tired, it's like, no, leave me alone, or I need to have this done quick. I need to assert myself. So Moon in Aries can be really emotional and quick tempered, kind of some kind of irregular or un um, they can surprise people at times because can be
Mm-hmm.
quite calm and then all of a sudden no, they like
Yeah.
burst into an emotional fit. And again,
Yep.
maybe this was the kind of mother they've encountered. Maybe the mother was kind of military, no nonsense, kind of you do as I say or else.
Yep.
So you get this kind of dichotomy here. So the child wants to manifest their emotion and be safe by asserting themselves or asserting their needs, but maybe their
Yep.
mother was like, no, you can't, because I'm in charge and I get to say when. you can assert your need.
Yeah.
And for Mercury in Aries is all about communication, all about our thought process, how we understand the world and gather information. So, as I said a little bit before, people who got Mercury in Aries are really sharp, can be really good at sizing an information, seizing the information all
Hmm.
out of the, I don't know, a text or something, and get, oh, this
Yeah.
is what it's all about. They can sum it up quite intuitively in a
Yeah.
instinctual way.
Yeah.
However, with all that brilliance can come a little bit of a brash communicator. So they can cut people off. They can
Yeah.
speak too fast. Sometimes they can like say what they had to say and just not listening to the feedback.
Yeah.
So again, with Aries comes some kind of impulsive energy that needs to be harnessed and tamed
Yeah.
before something can come out of it properly. So they need to like I don't know, like eat their words a little bit and make their thought process a little bit longer before like blurting
Sometimes.
something out.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
Venus in Aries. Again, like I said before, in intimate relationship, Venus in Aries, Venus is all about how we make bonds with others
Hmm.
and how we express our affection and can how we attract others.
Hmm.
So, yeah, this is the quintessential um, manifestation of love at first sight. Again, this initial, I need to
Yeah.
consume my my emotional attraction to that person, and
Yeah.
they can be some people, and this can be confirmed with other placements, but some people with Venus in Aries can marry or have a civil union quite early in their lifetime
Hmm.
because they want to make it quick. Let's meet
Yeah.
up. Let's make it
Yeah.
official. Can be
Yeah.
can be a Facebook post or something.
Yeah.
It's like no,
Yeah.
it's been only 2 days, and like oh no, we're official now.
It's forever.
Yeah, and after a while, the routine sets in. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god. So, and they're
Yeah.
quite,
And sometimes when they get to that point, it's like, why didn't anybody tell me?
yeah,
Well, sweetheart, we all tried. You decided not to listen.
yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
there's
But
this. They're really great at if they want to be in a relationship or if they want to attract someone, they will make the message quite clear. They will not
mhm.
beat around the bush or something. They
Yeah.
will be really assertive. I want you. Let's do that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
For some people, it can be quite consuming, quite
Yeah.
overpowering sometimes. And but their biggest weakness is again the lack of staying power, their lack of can be lack of commitment sometimes because they
Mhm.
absolutely hate routine in
Yeah.
romantic situations. So again,
Yeah.
yeah, Venus in Aries is fiery kind of fiery display of
Mhm.
love.
Nice.
And finally, the last personal planet is Mars in Aries. Like I said before, Mars is the natural ruler of Aries. Whenever that occurs in someone's chart, whenever a planet is positioned in a natural placement, like Mars in Aries or Venus in Taurus, that's their natural ruler,
Mhm.
it'll be amplified. The natural um, way of the planet will be like amplified really strongly. So the planet will be a, a, a really strong influence in someone's life. So
Mm-hmm.
Mars in Aries is their natural disposition is to be the hero, is to assert their will and to make no compromise about what they're set their mind into. And they want to charge ahead and expect everything to be to make room for them. And they can be quite combative, but at the same time, it's like repeating what I've said before. So
Yeah.
they can be quite the defeatist also, or the bad loser, because they want things to be done in a cinch, naturally, and
Yeah.
out of my way, I'm coming. Because Mars is all about self assertion, and in Aries is doubled up. So there can be a lot of frustration if they don't assert their will for action. They need to be regularly exercising, or there needs to be lots of physical activity coming from, because Mars is all about the body and Aries is like, no, you need to do that, you need to exert them. So again, Mars in Aries is a critical position because it can lead to a lot of frustration and lots of anger if nothing comes or is directed, expulsed in the right way for them. So it can
Mm-hmm.
be really frustrating. But if it's positive, then it's absolutely outstanding because
Yeah.
they can accomplish so much.
Yeah.
And finally, like I did for the other podcast, I've got some exemplars over here with people with lots of Aries energy. So here
Okay.
is Lucy Lawless. This is the
Mm-hmm.
from the popular '90s show Xena, the
Mm-hmm.
warrior princess. And I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. She played a warrior,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Princess. Yeah.
so yeah, like you can see here, she's got 9 points out of 20 in
Mm.
Aries. So that's staggering here. So
Yeah.
she's got all the essential planets almost in
Yeah.
Aries. Very directive, very driven, very emotional because of that moon over there. So like you can see, it's like a burst of energy.
Yeah.
I also got James Woods.
Mm.
So here he's got 8 points in Aries. So another Aries, Mars in Aries. So a lot of energy coming through
Mm-hmm.
here.
Yeah.
Christopher Lambert, 8 points again in Aries. Pretty much the
Okay.
same as the previous exemplar,
Yeah.
but with Mars and Gemini instead. So it's a tiny bit less extreme, I guess.
Yeah.
What else is there? Samantha Fox, another strong Aries.
Mm-hmm.
7 points out of 20 in Aries. So again, a double Aries with Mars in Aries too. So very
Okay.
strong masculine energy, very strong, driven,
Yeah.
assertive energy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Totally.
Angelina Jolie, even though she's Gemini, she's got a whole lot of Aries.
Yeah.
Moon, Mars, Jupiter, the midheaven. So she's got 7 points out of 20 in Aries. And I think she's done a lot of roles like an action lady or something, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah.
She's done a whole lot. And I would say that the 10th house rules over the career. So it's not surprising that she's gotten a lot of Aries energy coming from that kind of a,
Hmm.
yeah, there's a lot, she's gotten a lot of roles in like really strong independent warrior type kind of characters.
Yes.
And my
And that,
last one, Marvin Gaye. So again, kind
oh, yeah.
of strong, but this one is kind of nuanced here because even though there's a lot of energy coming from Aries over there, I would say that, and I can tell you a little bit before like delving deeper into it in later podcasts, but having Saturn here can temper a little
Hmm.
bit of that strong-willed and brash energy of Aries. It kind of simmers down, but also give more frustration in the
Hmm.
decor. So it's more nuanced than the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that's about it for my
And that was
exemplars.
Aries.
Yep.
Perfect. You know what? Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. Thank you so much, John. This is very, very informative.
You're welcome.
Um, and, certainly, as always, the more you know, the more that you can understand, appreciate, and all that kind of stuff. And all of us have a little bit of Aries, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we all
So,
got each of the 12 signs inside our charts.
yeah,
Go-
exactly. Yeah. So that is wonderful. So thank you so much, and thank you, you guys, for being here. Don't forget, once the broadcast is over, okay, you're going to be able to go down and under this video for Aries, make sure to leave a comment and just imagine what it would be like if you were to win a free personalized astrological reading from John about you, absolutely you, and all the things that have to do with you. So go ahead, subscribe, like, share, and all that good stuff. And don't forget to enter and leave a comment. And it's as
yeah.
easy as saying, enter me in the contest, enter me in the draw, or whatever. So we can do that. And we will meet again on next Wednesday. Um, Next Wednesday, however, and going forward, we're going to be meeting at 7 o'clock, which is usually when we meet. But today, today we're 8 o'clock. So that will be on October 12th at 7 p.m. And we're going to do a deep dive into Taurus.
Yes.
Yay! Yay! So this is, yeah, the the next few readings are going to be really, really good. My son is in Aries. We did him tonight. Yay! Thank you. Um, Next week, my sister is a Taurus, so I'm going to
Wow.
learn all about her. Yay! Then the week after that is Gemini, which is our friend Phoebe. So
Yeah.
yay! So I'm very excited about what's coming up and what we have done so far and whatnot. So, all right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, John. And yeah, we will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye bye.